Okay, got like 2 people on Twitch. So this lecture's it's okay. I'm forward on and I've lost to 2 Qs and 3 Qs. It happens. Yeah, so you never know. Maybe you can beat me. It happens. This lecture, okay. I wasn't sure if you're a Don or a Q player or not, but the idea of this lecture is going to be not wasting moves. And we're going to look at an old game of mine from like several years ago where I played Oatmeal. And we're going to see when Q players waste moves. So obviously this is going to be aimed at like the 5Q to 9Q range. But I think single-digit Qs, so for your level 2Q, it may not be as obvious as it will be in this game, but in 2Q games, the learning to ignore stuff, not follow your opponent, that basically is a problem all the way up until 1 Don. So I think even 2Qs can benefit from this. Alright, I don't think many more are going to join, so we'll go ahead and start. And let's just see how far we get until a slow move is played. Alright, first one. Do you know why this is a little bit inefficient? This is not a big one. This is only a small one. This is a small mistake. There's going to be much bigger mistakes, we'll see, but this is a little bit inefficient. Right. So, it's true that extending a Shamari is quite big. However, once you lose the extension, playing here becomes big after the sides are filled. So now it's like, it's open sides first and then play here. So this is like 3 or 4 steps too soon. Yeah, D10 is quite large. The top side is also quite large. It depends on your style. I think the left and top are both playable. I would prefer the left side. Okay. And I'm actually doing quite well so far. Yeah, I'm white this game. I'm actually doing quite well so far. Okay, so this is fine. This move may seem slow to you, but actually this is quite a big move. It's seen a lot of action nowadays. This bringing the star point down to the 3rd line like this. Yeah, a lot of star points. Star, 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 star can't be bad, right? One could only hope. Anyway, so the next biggest side was the top side. This move is perfectly fine, and it's a territorial type move. I would want it to be a little bit more effective on this board due to the fact that white has so many 4th line stones, but it's not a big deal for Q level players. So I'm going to say this move is a good move. Alright, now white comes in. This move is also a good move. The reason for this is white has support in the center, so he plays high and light. So this is also fine. Alright, so now we start getting into the questions. Where am I weak? Well, black's not weak anywhere. Where's my opponent weak? Well, I can harass the right side stone, or I can Tanuki and play the 3rd question, which is where's the big move? And the big move here is going to be like F17. So let's see what black does. Harasses the white stone. That's perfectly fine. Now white just needs to settle quickly. This is fine. There's not much of a base, so you could think of other stuff like shoulder hit or attachment, but this is perfectly fine. At 6U level, it's perfectly fine. And black plays F17. Is what early? R12. That is a very good question. Okay, so is this early? The question is, of course, the F17 is more valuable than the R12. The reason it's playable is because it's forcing. It's kind of Senta-ish. If white ignores and plays here, black will be able to harass this white stone. Here or something else. Where would I play? Where's a good move to play? Or maybe just leaving it now is fine and going over here or something. It's because it's Sente-ish. So many players don't realize this, but actually Sente is a concept that means forcing, but there's different levels of Sente. So Sente does not always necessarily mean your opponent has to respond. It means it's what's the best way to word this? Let me give you an example. Maybe this will make sense. I'm trying to think of the most effective way to explain this. There is a book called Mathematical Way to Go, and where he explains the different values of moves is weighed by different temperatures or different weights. He just used temperatures because it was easy to reference, so we can go with that. But you could also think of it as different weights. So the Sente of this move has a certain weight to it. White can ignore it, but White's going to have to deal with that weight of this move later, this weakness later. So usually you want to respond to this because your opponent can take advantage by attacking your stone directly. Something like, so if you ignore, you can attack it directly like this and then chase it. And also the right side's already large, even if you just do this. It's already large, but there's too many stones on one side. We don't want to get into that. So you can either attack it directly like this. You can try surrounding like this or like this, which would be quite... Actually, this is a really nice move, I think. I like this move. Or you could attack it from afar with something like this or like this. Or even this. Attack two weak groups or something. The idea is because White is unsettled, it'll be a headache for White later. I always drill this into my students. Fix your weakness before going somewhere else. Yes, but you will also have opponents who don't respond. You have to know how to punish it if they don't respond, and it's actually quite difficult. You'll see many players ignore this, especially in KGS. And you also have to know how to attack this stone. Otherwise, your move is going to be wasteful. It doesn't mean this black move's bad. It means your follow-up isn't powerful enough. So, if you ask me, is this move good? I think it's good. I think White should respond. That's because I know follow-ups that can make this area favorable for black. Even if I have to play something like this, or something to do a double attack, I can take advantage on this board. Like, you can even see something as simple as this is a kind of a double attack. If White responds, now you can see this stone looks really annoying. This is kind of a basic example, and if White plays here, you can attack this stone like here. You can attack it here. You can even threaten it again. Threaten another cap. And if White jumps again, now it's really becoming painful. Or you could even surround. That's usually probably not good. That's probably not good here because that's fourth line. Anyway, you get the idea. There's things you could try. But it all depends. Yeah. Yeah, how you attack is actually quite difficult. But those who know how to attack can take advantage of weakness very effectively and efficiently. Yeah, I think I didn't learn how to properly attack until like 2 Dan or 3 Dan. Well, I say properly attack. I still can't attack professional players for anything. So, I guess that's relative. A 4Q can attack much better than a 10Q. I can attack much better than a 4Q, but a pro can attack much better than me. Anyway, the idea of R12 is to say, I'm going to make Q10 weak. This is plenty fine, because normally your opponent wants to respond, or you will get to make profit by attacking the stone later. Yeah, attacking's quite difficult to teach, but it's very effective once you learn how to do it. Anyway, so in the game, White responds. And according to basics, that's what White wants to do. Because step 1 is you need to defend your weaknesses first. Step 2 is attack your opponent's weaknesses. And then step 3 is the big moves. And actually, it's quite interesting to know that the big moves come third. Like, they're last. So weaknesses in urgent moves are much more bigger than the big moves. And the reason for that is because you can gain profit. E17. No. No, that is incorrect. If we approach this side, then you are correct. And the reason is black cannot extend and make a proper base. So now black is cramped. However, if we do that here, now black makes a perfect base. This is beautiful on top. Now, do you know why this is good for black? It's not D10 specifically. It's if you have a stone on the other pincering theirs. So, if I approach here, you have a pincer like this. And now it's really powerful. It's not specifically D10. It has to do with the pincer. If I go here, normally you would do it. However, in this case, you also wouldn't do it. The reason being, if your stone gets weak, then it's not an attack. So if we go like this, and now you're also looking weak, maybe it's not so good. Or maybe I could even do like this. And now white's weak. So you also have to take into account, will your stone get weak? Now if I came in on this side, now you do it. Because now you can attack. And now it's beautiful. So that's important to know. Make sure that you're playing the Joseki because you're pincering them. Otherwise, this is not a good Joseki. Do you know why? The reason is black has a perfect position, more or less. There's weakness, but black has a nice position. However, white has this weakness here. So it has to be better for black if white has no territory and black can just live. Or if white goes here, black can play this free exchange. And now the corner got reduced a lot. So there's a bunch of Aji in there. So it's not good if you don't gain something. In the other variation, you could attack and gain profit. Here, though, you just got weakness in the corner for no good reason. So this is correct. Responding like this is correct. All right, so black jumps back. Oh, no! Oh, look at my 6Q self playing the bad move. In this position, if you want to defend the corner, this is the move. It also kind of wants black wants to respond here usually, because not responding, let's say I play something, this is quite annoying. Yeah, so normally black wants to respond, but it's still fine. I still think the board's slightly favorable for black. Here, though, oh, so bad. Oh, but black ignores. Don't ignore. All right. So here we see that black says the weakness on the right is bigger than the weakness on the top. That may be true. Yeah, ignoring attachment. That may be true. So actually I think black can get away with this because E17 is a little bit slow. So let's look at E17. Now, if we ask ourselves, do I have any weaknesses on the board? The right side and K4 are definitely weaknesses. Definitely weaknesses. So white actually doesn't have time to play here. So white should play a different move. Perhaps here to help the K4 stone and make some points. Perhaps white should exchange here, get some shape. Maybe get some forcing moves here. Defend your weaknesses on the right. White should do something to fix his weakness. Instead, he plays this, and black ignores and attacks the weakness. So I think black can get away with this. Normally you wouldn't see it. But because there's so much weakness on the board, black can actually attack this. All right, let's see how white defends. All right, so white defends. That's an okay move. Okay, now he extends, and now he got a good exchange. Because he got the P11 stone and Sente for free before having to respond to F16. So now the board's really good for black. And white still ignores his weaknesses and goes for territory. Now I think black should attack the weaknesses. Black defended. So this is following your opponent. So the way to not follow your opponent is, step one, where's my weaknesses? Defend your weaknesses first. The top isn't a weakness, it's territory. So it's not a weakness, it's territory. So black doesn't really have any major weaknesses. White, however, does, so you should attack the weaknesses first. After that, you should look for the biggest move. Now, is the top territory the biggest move? Or is it the bottom left corner? So here you can see the bottom left corner is much bigger than the top middle. So black should be attacking and then playing the bottom left corner first before defending the top middle. So that means white's move was too slow and black shouldn't have responded. C3. Well, before playing the big move, we should attack weakness, right? So I would do something to K4. Or the right side. I don't know what I would do exactly. Because you have to come up with very careful plans. P10. Yeah, P10 is quite huge. M5. M5 is possible, but kill, I don't know how to kill magic, I guess. What you have to look at is, rather than just the first move, you need to look at the follow-ups. Oh, kill me, just kidding. I get it. You need to look at the follow-ups and think, where's my profit? This is why I said attacking's hard. So at this point, I would start using a lot of clock time to come up with several variations to figure out what's the most effective way to attack this weakness and where can I gain profit. So this is when you use your clock time, and is in positions like this when you have the freedom to start dictating what's going to happen on the board. Like your next move could probably dictate the next 50 moves. So you need to put a lot of thought into this. As you can see, the two players are not using their time at all. Yeah, so the next move is actually quite important. If you can't find a way to attack the weakness, then what's a way to take a big move, the next biggest move, which is the bottom left corner, without fixing the weakness, and maybe attack the weakness from afar? There's also that possibility. I like the G4 area. I do too, but I don't know about G4 exactly, or that spot exactly. See, the moves I'm looking at is like L5 shoulder hit. I really want P10. If I can get P10 and Sente, that'd be great. F3, G4, H4 looks nice, but it looks like an easy response for white. So like I said, I'd have to read quite a bit here, and I don't want to spend this entire lecture reading, so let's move on from this. Yeah, we all want to attack P7 and K4 and some double attack. All right, but as you can see, black missed actually a great chance. Well, that's step 3, but remember, attacking weakness is a little bit more valuable than the biggest move, if the weakness is potent enough. So, weakness before big moves, but you have to learn how to attack. So, yeah, C3. I just don't like white getting thick and fixing K4 in Sente. Anyway, so now white plays here, and this is quite a nice move. It defends the weaknesses, I believe. However, white needs to start getting some Sente stuff because black has more territory than white right now, so black's still ahead. So now white needs to do something. Okay, so now black tries to split. This may be a little bit too much, though. So now we get into really, really careful reading. And there's things wrong with this, but this is reading stuff, right? So here black said there's weakness, so I'm going to try and attack the weakness. That's a good idea, but you have to be careful when you do this. You have to read very carefully and very exactly. And you have to do that to the best of your ability. He's not, at this level, it's not going to be perfect. So I think here black has the right idea. It's just his move's not as, it's not the best move. All right, so let's see how it goes. And now it's actually getting much, much better for black. Just extend it. So now you can see, actually, now it's brilliant because black split. He has no weakness anymore. Well, almost no weakness. There's still some stuff. But and now white's still not settled on either side, and he's getting thick and splitting. So this is actually really good for black. So white's in a lot of trouble. White's in a lot of trouble. This a little bit of Aji to be careful about. That's weird. So that's a bad move. It's just a bad move, hands down. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's just a bad move, hands down. There's nothing you can say about this move. It's just a bad move. And it's not as bad, but it's still bad shape. This is all bad shape. All right, but this is the 6Q, 7Q reading, I guess. They're fixing weakness, so black's at least black's empty triangle is much more effective than white's. I think I would rather just go here. Yeah, this seems fine. Anyway, white played a very bad move here. It actually fixed a lot of weakness in black's position. Alright, so now white needs to do something effective. What I mean by this is you need to fix weakness, but you need to do it efficiently and effectively. It needs to actually do what it's supposed to do. So what I mean by fix weakness, it means make eye space, connect to strong groups, something like this, right? So white plays here. And white made one eye. And this is a common mistake at the lower Q levels. I think around 9Q, 10Q plus. When they start defending weaknesses, they go for direct eyes. And this is not an efficient way to defend. It defends, but it's not efficient. What I mean by efficient is you're not just making eyes one at a time, you're surrounding space. So here's the steps to... Oh, that's okay. Here's the steps to defend your weakness. Well, it's 5. Yeah, but it's cramped and it's small. It's not valuable. It's maybe like 2 points. And black's getting more and more territory locally. So white's actually forcing black to make more points than home, which is why it's bad for white. All right, how to defend efficiently. Step 1, make a base. You can't. Well, you can kind of do that here, and I think you should. I think it's like S11 or R10 or R11 or S11, something like that. No, black's going to play S5. It's just R6 for S5 is a good exchange for black. So I look at the exchanges, not just okay, yeah. So let's look here. White is still cramped. White still only has one eye, and black just got a super thick corner. So the exchanges are bad. So step 1 for defending is make a base. Step 2 is run away. Step 3 is surround as much space as possible, and step 4 is to make the eyes. Here, though, you can see white doing step 4 before step 1. Here, just make some eye space. So now you can see it's like 10 points. There's still Aji in the black's corner. It's not even 10 points, like 6 points. However, you can see white is defending more effectively, more efficiently, making more points while defending. And black still has Aji in the corner. So it's much better. Here, white is defending with like 2 or 3 points, and black's getting thicker and thicker in the corner with no Aji and making a lot of territory. So you can see how it's not efficient. It defends, but it's not efficient. Alright, so now white ignores. This is actually an interesting move. Cool, thanks for that. So this is an interesting move. So it's asking black, do you want to keep attacking or do you want to lose some points locally? Do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, I think it's fine. He already spent like several moves defending. N4 seems small for territory if black defends at N3, but it actually cuts off the cutting stones. So for the fight, it's interesting. You mean if black defends O4 and white takes territory? Okay, so you're right in thinking that saving the cutting stones, and if white cuts off M3, white takes points, but you get to attack. But remember, white already spent several moves defending. Now, normally, spending so many moves defending and then threatening to cut off stuff would mean that I already have enough of a defense, you can't really gain enough profit. So what white is saying here is I'm going to cut off M3, and I'm going to get more points here than what you can get by attacking me. So you can get some profit by attacking me, that's fine, but you're not going to get more than what I get locally. That's what white is saying. Now, if that's true, hard to say. So I think this is a good asking move. And ask black. Yeah, it's hard to respond here. You have to read very carefully. What would I play? I don't know. Honestly, I would have to spend time reading this out and calculating points. But I think N4 is a good asking move. You could even say if black responds at O4, you can Tanuki and say, okay, let's just make that exchange. But I think white should N3 now because he already invested. Do I think it's a good idea? I don't know. At their level, I think it's interesting. But would I do it? I would probably just try and find a way to get Sente out of this. I always look for Sente. If he didn't play Q5. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so white took profit. Yeah, N4 is interesting. I like N4. I don't know if it's a good move or not, but I like it. This is terrible. So you already made the trade to give up N4 so you can gain profit. Now black's actually going to give himself dead stones. And white's going to get thicker and thicker, and now the corner life and death is actually becoming an issue. So this is really, really bad. So when your stone dies, how to think about a stone after it dies. A dead stone is Aji. The way to utilize Aji, which is weakness, is by taking advantage of it and gaining profit. Normally, you threaten to escape with it and force your opponent to capture it really, really small. That's usually the most effective way to utilize Deadstones, is force your opponent to capture it on a very small scale and you get profit on the outside. So, here we can see that black is going to actually make himself heavy. So it's not a good idea. Now I don't know what black's doing. Honestly, I don't know anymore. I think he realized that his idea was bad. Now he's trying to follow it up. But once your stone's dead, it's Aji. You don't want to kill the Aji. So don't force your opponent to fix Aji. That's usually really, really, really bad. Don't force your opponent to fix Aji. Now we're back to black having the initiative. So black should play like 07. Okay, so he thought this was Sente. He's making shape. However, is this Sente? Do you guys think this is Sente? Right. Or it's 2 stones. It's like 4 or 5 points. Maybe like 6 points. It's really, really, really small. It's not the biggest move on the board. Nothing's going to die. Nothing's going to get majorly attacked. It's not any gigantic weakness. It's just like 6 points. Super, super small. And now how much you want to bet white, my dumb self from several years ago, is going to take the stone? Ready? Bam. Bam. This is a very, very, very common mistake in Q level play. Here? Oh, I don't know, like, let's see, what was it? 2007, 2008? Let's see, that was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Wow, I was like 17, 18 maybe, 19. I don't know, somewhere around there. I was young. Okay, so how can you fix yourself from playing these moves? Now, of course, this one looks obvious because I pointed it out. Oh, cool. But what if I didn't point it out? If this was your game, do you think you would have just responded just because? Well, good. For those who do think they would respond just because, the way to fix your habits of responding immediately is to each and every move take a little bit of time to think about what you're going to play. So you have a lot of clock time. You should use it. Think about what you want to play. Use as much clock time as you need. Even if you think I only have 30 minutes, I got to make it last. No, don't worry about making it last. You have 30 minutes to use, and then you have 30 seconds after that. If you aren't using your 30 minutes, then your time's being wasted. Good. So the way to fix moves like these is take your time. Slow down. Yeah, many of my students, I think almost every single one of my students, I have to constantly tell, use your time. Slow it down. It's fun, but it creates a lot of bad habits. Alright, so now black finally comes out. Is this Sente? No. It's definitely not Sente. What should white do? No. Try again, kill me. White should defend his weakness. The right side's still not alive and black's getting thick. Step 1 is to make a base. So I really want this move. I think if you get this move, you'll pretty much be alive. S10 is also fine, but I don't like the keep and exchange here, and then this stuff. And I think there's also Aji here, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah. Even here, you would play like this, but now you're completely alive. For sure, you're alive. Hey, Nari. Because you already have one eye, and now you got enough space to make a second eye. So now black should Tanuki and play somewhere else. Alright, so white actually responded. So you can see that white is not taking his time and thinking about the questions. Well, the middle is usually really, really small. Remember side, corner, side, center? Black's really playing Gote here. White's responding. So now you can see, following. Okay, now black Tanuki. But just following, playing. These are just Dame moves. They're not doing anything. Yeah. One plays Gote and the other one responds to Gote. And so now black finally invades. This one's a little unnecessary in difficulty. This one's much easier, and it's also just as big and just as effective. So I think the bottom side is just unnecessary. Also, urgent before big. White is not alive. Alright, so black thought this is getting pretty darn big. Let's do something about it. Alright, that's fine. Make a base. So now, actually, now would be a great time to do this. Yeah, this is a great time to do this. Because now you're pincering with a strong group, which is so good. So this is not the way to play. Now black lives really, really easily. So locally, oh, that's not the move. That's definitely not the move. Locally, it's good for black. Globally, it's good for black because you need Sente and get to the right side. So black's winning by a good bit. Good bit. And now black can just live even larger in the corner. And Sente. Oh. Alright, now attack the right. This is not so big. It's big, but it's not so big. No one cares about this. Stop playing in this area. Let's see, who's the first one to Tanuki? Who's the first one to Tanuki? First one to Tanuki. There we go. Not the best move, but it's better than all the other moves that just came before it. So you can see, actually, Q players waste a lot of moves. So you have a lot of chances to take advantage of it. So if you can just slow down and catch those times where they play those slow moves, you will gain a huge edge up against them. Even Dawn players sometimes waste moves. It's just not as obvious, and it's hard to catch. But yeah, even Dawn players waste moves. I think a prime example, I played a 4 Dawn when I had a 2 Dawn account. I played a 4 Dawn and I had 2 stones. I ignored him so many times. It was ridiculous. Yeah, you can say pros do as well, but I definitely can't catch it. Like Asian pro, I can't catch. Western pros, maybe I could catch some of their slow moves. I think in this year's pro exam, I caught some of the slow moves. But Asian pros, like the legitimate ones, they are insane. It's really hard to catch theirs. Because you don't know if they're being slow or they're attacking everything. Alright, so now black's connecting. Does black need to connect here? No. There's no point. Is white dying when black surrounds? No, not a chance. So that means black just gave up Sente and got nothing. Maybe 1 point. Black just gave up Sente. So, that's a waste. And not to mention, like, pretty much everything. Not that. Everything in this area. Everything in that area is pretty much a waste. Maybe not that one. All those moves, such a waste. Alright, so now white plays here. This is a forcing move, but I don't think white gains anything, so I don't see the reason to push. Because you normally push to cut, but I don't think the cut works here. I want to L11 at the very least. L11. L11 is really weird. Think of the Shusaku's moves as they look slow, but they're actually quite large in value. So it's not that they are slow. It's they're quite large and just seem to be slow to amateur players. So a little wording, I guess. K11. You're still going after the center. There's better moves than the center. What about... So I think this move's bigger than the center. Why? Because let's say black goes for the center. And now I go here. Or here. This is much bigger than the center. Because you go there, I go here. If you go here, I go here. So that means black wants to respond. Okay, black responds. Well, now what can I do? Well, now black doesn't have any weakness. So what about reducing? Okay, there's the line of the influence. There's that cut there, which doesn't work. 3-3 doesn't work anymore. So I guess the only thing I can do is reduce black. So I can reduce black either usually with the shoulder hit. Maybe I can come in. Black's actually really thick. It's quite hard to come in. So what about building an influence, building a move of my own while threatening to go in? So what about something like this? That's a nice idea. So usually you take the center and Sente. So try building a center of your own while reducing your opponent's. That idea usually works. And let's say he tries to get center. Okay, take the center. Okay, keep taking the... Oh, not that, not that. Keep taking the center. Okay, now my center is bigger than yours. Or maybe... What can you do? Does this move work? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure what to play here, actually. Just something, right? And now I can see the A area is actually bigger than the B area. So black had a center, but while you're reducing it, you build yours, and yours is usually bigger than your opponent's. Remember, the corner and the sides were already blacks. All he got was a center. So that means you got more by reducing. So usually you build a center in Sente. If you can't build a center in Sente, it's usually really small. Usually. Most of the time. 80-90%. I almost always tell people, stop going for the center. Center is really small. However, this is smaller. Forcing your opponent to make the center is not the way to play. Because now, the center may be small, but you're forcing him to build it. So white's actually playing quite poorly here. R10. R10? You mean S10? Yeah. S10's a little bit slow because white's not going to die anymore, so white's not weak anymore. Actually, black should be thinking about something like this. Or shoulder hit. Not that shoulder hit. Black should be thinking about reducing over here. There's no attack on the right side anymore. White's completely alive. So S10 is just territory. And the left side's bigger than the right. So black should E13. This can be cut. But black's really thick in the center. So if white cuts this, white's going to lose all of his left territory. So where do you want to go to cut? Here? Okay, you go there, 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 there. Well, I just destroyed all of your territory there. Well, almost. Actually, yeah, pretty much. I can exchange here first, can't I? Ha! I can exchange here. Yeah, and there's a cut. Not to mention white's weaknesses. I just destroyed everything you had. This fight, it's true that when you're behind, you want to attack and try and gain the edge. The reason I think this fight isn't possible is because black has so many stones in the center as support. Thinking this fight is going to be good for white is kind of too optimistic. So you can't create something out of thin air. Something has to be there. So if there's no weakness, then you're just going to have to wait for weakness and take it step by step by playing big moves, and maybe playing a really effective endgame will catch you up. You can't attack unattackable things. When you attack, you're investing. So you have to read very carefully before you attack. So a little bit optimistic. I think this one's 100% going to fail. Because I don't see any way for white to gain anything, and black won't die for sure. And I don't see a way for white to gain profit enough to make up for the territory lost. So I would rather, when black goes here, not there. When black goes here, I'd rather just defend and then try and catch up in the endgame. Because I'm quite confident in my endgame. So here, when black defends, maybe he can come up with something. Maybe black goes here. At this point, I would normally say this is game over, but the other one was also game over. However, maybe you can come up with a skilled endgame. Maybe you can try and make some exchanges here. Something. See, maybe ask him how he's going to respond. See if he responds correctly. Yeah, you're just going to have to play and take it one step at a time. Just try and catch up one step at a time. In Go, there's usually no one magic move to completely catch up. If you can catch up in one move, then this game would be too easy. There would be no point to taking the lead. But black's taken the lead several times this game. So you have to catch up step by step, not in one magical sequence. So here you can see, okay, black made a mistake. Now you can start playing stuff like this. Now white's kind of developing the center, but at the same time, black's getting more than he should have if white had played the other way. So I still don't like it. This is quite powerful. And I like this idea better. Rather than defending the center, which is small, just destroy your opponent's area. And this is kind of Sente as well. Double Hane. Tanuki. Why would you Tanuki? That's not big. Double Hane. There we go. There we go. Good. Connect. Good enough. Peep doesn't do anything. Okay, so now white destroys center. Okay, now you can go play endgame. Where's the endgame to play? Well, here, of course. White can cut, but white still has to defend. Then here. F15. F15 is a bad forcing move. Well, it wasn't needed. So, yeah. F15 was just weird timing, wasn't necessary. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Anyway, this is super, super small. Super, super small. So now, where do you guys think black should play? Well, I already showed you the answer, didn't I? He should go here. Double sente, and quite huge. There's also this move. And now this is kind of becoming big, but there's other moves he can do. He can't wedge. Wedge? Yeah, you can wedge. You can wedge. I don't see the point, but you can wedge. Yeah. Yeah, there's other stuff to do. There's no reason to invest everything. Wow. I think this cost you 2 points. No, I think Black's trying to prevent the Atari, but he did it in a weird kind of way. That's so funny. This is the worst move of the game. White had the worst move of the game, and now just, that's funny. Okay, so now White does his all or nothing move. White has no choice but to get this in. Let's see if it works. Quite interesting. So far, so good. Kill that. Yep. Okay, it didn't work. Game over. Center's not the biggest move. Still in the center. Still in the center. That's dead. You can Tanuki that. That doesn't work. Being hopeful. That's not the way to defend. Watch your Aji. Watch your Aji. No, there's no chance it can be close. The top right's far too large. It can't be close. Not the way to defend. Does that work? Does it? No. I don't see a way for it to work. I don't think it works. That's definitely not the way to play. That is definitely not the way to play. You're first. Here, maybe? Yeah, Black's... reading is not Black's strong suit. C9. Yeah, one of the cuts. Either of the cuts. What? Is that supposed to be a nose to Suji? That's so funny. Reading is not Black's strong suit. Yep. Clamp? Where's the clamp? S9. Yes, that works. Yeah, S9 works. What is Black doing? Black's winning. Does he think he's losing? Oh, don't let white get a bunch of stuff. Kind of ugly shape, but it works, I guess. Of course, white's going to Atari and double check that it works. Because no one reads, they just do stuff, right? That's a good endgame decision. It doesn't, no, just do that. It's Sente. D17. D17. D17 works now. Yeah, because there's liberty issues. So yeah, D17 works now. There's an issue. Here, white lost Sente, so that's bad. Yeah, D17 is an issue. Sente, play the Sente, not the Dame. Why is everyone playing Dame? Stop playing in each other's territory for good. Actually, that's interesting. That's funny how that worked. That's not Sente. That is not a Tsuji. Oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? I say they, and it's myself. No, D17 is so big. Oh, they find the smallest moves possible. If I didn't know they didn't see this, I swear they'd be doing this on purpose. How did that happen? Wow, that's so funny. Did white catch up now? Surely not. That's a lot of points, though, in the center. Oh, they're both blitzing, I'm sure. They have 30 minutes, but neither of them's using their clock time. Whoa! What is that? Oh, man. What is this move? I swear, I deserve to lose for that. Oh, I deserve to lose for that. They're gonna fight the cow. Why? Just. Is it time to connect? No, there's K17, there's G1, there's P1. H19. What does H19 do? H19 doesn't do anything. Yeah. So one of my games from many, many years ago. Finally played a good move. Oh, you fixed the Aji. Don't let him live. That's one way to do it, I guess. Reduce the ice space first and play the vital point. Tiger's mouth, yep. Now black's alive? No, he's not. Right? Right? Uh-oh. 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 Stop letting black live. No. There's... Black just lived. Well, black gave the game away earlier. I had to give it back, right? What? That? Okay, yeah, that's fine. The better way to defend is just connect. He's worried. Learn to read. Okay, what's the score? Time to see the score. Black plus 44.5, of course. Hey, there's a Ko on the left, by the way. All right, so what if this doesn't live? This doesn't live. I think white's gonna win. Yep, more or less. Ignore everything. Learn to read. Ignore everything. Learn to read. Okay. So white's a few points ahead. All because of the center. All because of the center. That's so funny. Because white ignored a 20-point move. 14. 15-point move. Yeah, so this is quite entertaining. It would be entertaining if it wasn't my game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's kind of funny. No, I do weekly lectures for 1 hour a week, and they're on Fridays, so this is just one of the lectures. But yeah, just gonna have to catch me next Friday. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the lectures, patreon.com/Clossi. Let me put that in a link. Lecture, don't play like I did. Yeah, if you guys want to support these lectures for as little as $1 a month, that's like 25 cents a week, a quarter a week. It really helps me out. If I can get a lot of people doing this, it'd be great. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next week. Bye-bye.